It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome to another match preview show live on Chelsea Perspective. Today we will discuss our game against Nottingham Forest away, the make or break game where we have to win to qualify for the Champions League. But there are other things that, should they happen, we could still qualify with a draw, but we don't want such to happen. We want to win and be certain that, yeah, we be participating in the next edition of the Champions League. But that's, by the way, we still have some news items to address because, yes, it is silly season. So we'll talk about silly season. We'll talk about Andrea Santos. Talk about Mark Guehi. There are other news items there to talk about. And then when we get a chance, we will go news hunting to see if anything new or emerged as the show progressed. But just, by the way, without wasting much of your time, I will go to the presentation window so we can start addressing the news items we have. And if you're lucky, we get some panelists to come and join me here so that you can have diversified opinion and not just mine. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We do have 2 likes. We can do a lot better than that. 14 people watching, but currently only 3 of those on YouTube. The rest shared between Facebook and definitely X. So let me switch to the presentation window without wasting your time. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's see what we have here. Where is the presentation window? Give me 1 second here. Why is it not showing up? Okay, it looks like it's one of those days we're gonna have a lot of technical issues. Okay, there you go. The presentation window here with this guy here. Okay, we switch like this. And we have our friend Cold Palmer. Cold Ice Palmer in the house. Nice to see you, man. I do hope you're doing well. And thank you for joining us once again. We haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're okay. I just hope the case is that you've been busy. If that's the case, yeah, busy is good. Bills don't pay themselves, but yeah, we do understand. So without wasting much of your time, the first item we'll address here is how do you pronounce this? Is it pronounced get global? I'm not sure. Get global, maybe. I'm not sure how you pronounce that correctly. If I'm butchering it, apologies to the institution. Um, because they're big. I think they have 2 point something million followers on X. When I checked to be sure if I should to know whether I should trust the source or not. But that's, by the way, this report. Andrea Santos will finally be part of Chelsea's main squad. Coach Enzo Maresca called him up to participate in the Club World Cup. Like, duh, this is nothing new here. Shocking, right? But again, we have to talk about it. We crave for news, we crave for transfer news, and we crave for such, you could call, good news, because Chelsea fans do like Andrea Santos quite a lot. I like him too, but I'm happy that on 2 seasons in a row he chose to go out on loan. Because yeah, we people realized that he wasn't actually pushed to go out on loan. He decided to go out on loan, even though the first one was in the Premier League. What club was it at the time? Was it Nottingham Forest? They didn't respect him. They didn't play him. And I don't blame them. They had at the time, I think it was Nottingham Forest, because they signed Ibrahim Sangare, or who was it that they signed, that led to them not giving him enough game time. But he was patient. Chose to go out on loan to Strasbourg, where he thrived, became their captain and one of their best players of the season. And I give him credit for realizing again, for chosen to go out on loan rather than stay and get to play games every now and then. I don't think that would have been enough for him to develop to the measure he's developed right now. But Coach Palmer, nice to see you. I'm not gonna comment. I'm just gonna watch. Thank you. I appreciate you. That is enough. As long as you're watching, you somehow, again, you're providing value to the community. So we appreciate that. Nice to see you. And I have my bro in the house there, big. Tabelo, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Big up to you too. I do hope you're doing well. It looks like you've been busy, so very busy of late. So Andrea Santos, I'm excited. But the interesting thing is what people think or believe will happen because of Andrea Santos's imminent return, or maybe, for lack of a more specific language there, a more relatable language, but he's coming back. Some people think his return would mean the end of Enzo Fernandez. Yeah, they're different. And I think we've talked about this 1,000 times. Enzo is more of a deep lying playmaker. He's more of a box to box player. We need both. Both can actually play in the same game. Yeah, no issues there. They have complementary skills. So, I don't know how I should phrase that, but I know you get the point. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Andrea Santos, a special talent, and we brought him for 12 million. Yeah, think of how much he's worth right now. But we're not looking to sell him. And there were rumors that we're looking to sell him, and which I knew at the time was just the media or some big accounts on X using it to get more clicks. Because he's such a talent, the club knew how good he can become. Had Pochettino wanted, he could have kept him, or you could argue maybe he wanted to keep him, but he chose to go out on loan to continue developing, to continue playing as often as he should be as a young player and develop properly. And it has worked out really well. I think he's carved out a place for himself in the team. If anything, he's competing with someone, but we cannot say, yeah, he comes back and gets to sit on the bench and be a backup. No, that's not going to be the case. There will be rotation. He's going to be playing quite a lot, and that's what big clubs do. You have good depth. So when one player plays today, next the other player plays next. You don't burn out players. They share the workload. Big up, more likes, people. Let's get the likes up. The likes do go a long way. Please keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We had to stream in the landscape format today because we have a lot of you can call it illustrations, like the lineup building exercise. We need to go full screen for that to be effective. Otherwise, we'll be streaming mainly in a vertical format because our stats show that a large percentage of the channel subscribers use mobile devices and joined or subscribe to the channel through YouTube shots. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes. Not for sale, not at all. People just don't understand the new owners. If you're quality, you say you're untouchable, except if you push to leave. But that's, by the way, let's move on to the next item we have here. I'm excited. We'll practically have not necessarily an entirely new squad next season, but we have, you could say, an improved squad given his arrival. Is it the other one? Isugo, I think Isugo, Estavo William, and then the 19-year-old defender at Strasbourg also. I think let's just stick with, we'll have an improved squad, and that's huge. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go a long way. Sincerely do appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. More likes, people, more likes. We'll have 4 likes. We can do a lot better than that. So now Buchi Laba, I don't know. You can say he has direct access to Osimhen. I don't know whether to trust him. We did address reports, multiple reports yesterday, suggesting that Osimhen is headed to Saudi Arabia. But this one here by Bucci, I believe this, but somehow I still believe he will follow the money. If the Saudis are seriously interested in signing him, it'd be like this. I don't think he'd hesitate to join. Al Hilal. So this says Victor Osimhen is not keen on any move to Saudi Arabia. I don't believe this. I don't believe this. He could be working with Osimhen's camp to so that you could say, if the feeling is that he's desperate, it dies down. I'm not sure what to make of it, but we wait and see what happens. If we end up getting the deal across the line, yeah, good for us. But here's something you should know: Bucci is an Arsenal fan, isn't he? Correct me if I'm wrong. But let's just read Tabehu's comments here, which reads: Bucci dislikes the Chelsea Football Club. He said he wants Chelsea fans to suffer and not win the cup. I did I see it? But he's an Arsenal fan, right? Let me just get that out of the way. So there's no way he'd be happy for Osimhen to join Chelsea, and I'd see him refute. I think there was a particular report that suggested Osimhen to Chelsea could still happen, still a possibility, and he blatantly said no. Chelsea are not the front runner for the signature for Osimhen and all that. Yeah, so that confirms that truly he does indeed hate a Chelsea Football Club. But if we want to sign Osimhen, I don't think he'd be the reason why we're not going to be able to get the deal across the line. Yeah, even though I agree, they seem to have direct access to Osimhen's cap. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Sincerely do appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. 41 people watching in total, only 7 on YouTube. The rest shared between Facebook and definitely X. But let's see. Why not? He said, why not interested? But last summer he was close, and Napoli demanded more, which led to the Saudis walking away, which led to them deciding to go for Ivan Toney rather than give De Laurentiis more money. Yeah, that was a huge mistake by Napoli, and now they will get a lot less. I think what led. I think we've talked about this before, but uh, they say facts don't change. You can say, but in all honesty, this is us just speculating because Osimhen had requested that they make some changes to the contract they had on the table for him, and they were still in the process of doing that. De Laurentiis moved to the goalpost, and the Saudis maybe felt like disrespected, or maybe felt like the De Laurentiis feels like he can get them to pay a lot more money than they're willing to pay, so they pulled out. Marky New, nice to see you. Big up, Coachila. Big up to you too, my brother. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate you for finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Who else do we have here? Cold Palmer here saying, I'm gonna start commenting now. Okay, go ahead. All right, let's see what we have here. This says, Cold Palmer, do you think We'll score tomorrow. We'll see. What else do you have here? Tobago. Okay. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. We'll move to the next item we have lined up. What else do we have here? So Osimhen to Chelsea. I mean, it'd be correct to say it's still a possibility if you listen. If you listen to John Michael Obi speak about the possibility of Osimhen joining Chelsea, he's practically saying, technically saying that Osimhen to Chelsea is just a phone call away. To explain further, he said that's because they've done all the hard work last transfer window. That all that is left was just all that they didn't do was just put pen to paper. So whether to believe him or not, I honestly do not know. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Let's see. I want us to get to the match preview exercise as soon as possible. And Code Palmer, if you're watching, apologies. I think the reason the machine that is policing the comment section timed you out is because you use all caps in your last comment. Okay, so this particular report here reads, according to Sky Sports News, the one we addressed yesterday practically did say something to the effect of Chelsea already in talks with João Pedro's camp, and they are accelerating the talks, and that Chelsea are willing to pay 60 million euros, something that in that region. So Chelsea are interested, but this one just says that Chelsea are interested, not that we're already in talks with this camp. And this reads that Chelsea are interested in Brighton forward João Pedro, with the player keen to talk to bosses at Stamford Bridge if the two clubs can agree a fee for him. I'm not sure whether to, again, Brighton, when they see Chelsea, they see a cash cow. They don't sell players to us for cheap. I mean, if why do I say that? Look at how much they sold McAllister to. But in all honesty, there was a reason why that was possible. But Moses Caicedo's case, he did sign a new contract, didn't he? Before we went for him. So I wouldn't say really that when they see Chelsea, they see a cash cow. But still, I think they'd ask for a lot of money, knowing that we're big spenders, but I don't think we'd bend over for them. I think if they ask for too much, we'd walk away. That's how I see it. But let's see. And again, everything, there are other factors to pay attention to. The length of his current contract. What else? Yeah. And if he doesn't have a release clause. I haven't heard anything to that effect. But we'll see. Let's see what else we have here. I like João Pedro, but I don't think it's what we need. I don't think we're signing him as the number 9 we've been looking for. I'd be shocked if that's the case. I think we're signing him because there's a chance we lose 2 players in Christopher Nkunku and João Felix. Yeah, there's a chance we'll lose both players. Even if we don't lose both players, you can count them as a good competition for Nicholas Jackson. You can say that's the case. But I don't think we're signing him as traditional number 9. I think we're signing him either as a replacement for either of the 2 players I mentioned, or just competition for Nicholas Jackson. He's not a traditional number 9, and the good thing is that he's a very versatile player. He can also play on the flanks, and I don't know. I wouldn't complain as long as we still look for the sort of number 9 that we're looking for, so that we have good balance in the squad. But that's a small opinion anyway. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. At Brighton, I like Mitoma, but he won't be cheap. Oh, he's actually their main guy in my opinion. Felix and Nkunku, replacement. It's a possibility, but we're not sure why we're looking to sign him. But it makes sense to think that's the reason we're looking to sign him. Let's see. Isn't João Pedro just a glorified 10? I wouldn't go to that extent. How old is he? I think he's a good player. and he's an intelligent player too, very good at interplays. Um, no, I think he's a good player. He can also, yeah, I get it. He can fulfill the number 10 role, but would it make sense to say he's the really good at fulfilling the number 10 role? I haven't seen him play in the 10 role. Maybe I've not been paying attention where he's played. But I like him as a player, as long as we're not signing him as the number 9 we've been told we will sign, the important number 9 to be more specific. Uh, um, I like his work rate, which is fine. You could argue maybe that's the reason we're drawn to him. Um, okay. What else do we have here? 23. He's still very young. So yeah, more likes, people. More likes. 5 likes. We can do a lot better than that. We have Constantine Dunn, the captain of the community in the house. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Dante, let's go back a beat. You know you don't have discipline, but let's be fair here. I don't think there's anything we've talked about. Okay, you see this? I don't know if you know Bucci,
No, don't know that one.
journalist. So, in all honesty, from what I've seen, I think he does have access to Osimhen's camp. But that doesn't mean that this is correct because of that. And to be mentioned in the chat, he doesn't like Chelsea. He's an Arsenal fan, so there you go. You have the reason why he doesn't like Chelsea and wouldn't want Chelsea to be successful in signing Osimhen. He wouldn't want that. He'd hate
One
that.
sec,
He
sorry,
actually.
coach. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Sorry.
All right. So we wait for Dante. I want to get his opinion on, but you're saying that Osimhen is not keen on any move to Saudi Arabia. I don't believe that. I think he is, but also there's a chance he really doesn't. He really isn't keen on a move to Saudi Arabia because he's still young. Maybe he believes he still has at least he would want to play. Maybe he want to play to at least one more or 2 more seasons in Europe at the top level. You never know. Yeah, he predicted. He did tell us that Angie will win, that he plays differently in finals. And lo and behold, he did that. He played differently in that final. Um, wow, he was spot on. His prediction spot on, really.
Sorry, I'm back.
Pedro
Yep.
is okay. Pedro is a center forward. Maresca will love him. Yeah, but my point is, if sign him, I just don't want it to be that. Yeah, he's that guy that we talked about signing. But Dante, let's start you. The report on the screen, if you're back,
Mhm.
which is saying that Osimhen isn't keen uh, on any move to Saudi Arabia. I've said, here's my theory. Chances are he's doing that in collaboration with Osimhen to not come across to people as desperate for money.
I think so. If you said he knows
That's
his camp pretty well, and
yeah.
he's Nigerian, I'm assuming that person as well.
Yeah, but he's Nigerian. Igbo, to be more specific. I know the meaning of his name actually,
Yes.
but we're not here to talk about that. Go ahead.
So if he knows, yeah, well, it's just maybe for image, like you said, for image, or just to get it out there, just so he's not that, like you said, not that just for money. But yeah, you said he's an Arsenal fan as well, so there you go. So
Yeah,
that
he
might.
is. Doesn't like Chelsea.
Look, we don't know. It's all rumors at the moment. We'll see what happens. But I strongly believe, my personal opinion, that if the money's there that he wants, he will go to Saudi over any other European club that won't give him that money. So, because I don't see no European club giving him 470,000 per week that he wants, basically. There's only a couple of clubs, a handful of clubs that can give him that, and they're in Saudi Arabia there. So yeah, look, it's either he takes a big pay cut and joins a European club, or he takes the money he really wants. And he's been saying it for the last year. That's how much he wants to move, and he goes there. Plus, there will be a transfer fee as well. Let's not forget Napoli in this, because there is a transfer fee as well, not just salary. So when you add the salary, when you add the transfer fee, agent fees, etc., that goes astronomical figures. So only a Real Madrid would play for Galactic or something like that. and he's not, in my opinion, he's not that. Unfortunately, I just don't see him as that, and I don't think Real Madrid will see him as that either. To be honest, I don't think he's the Galactico they're looking for. So, yeah, look, he will end up there. I'm pretty certain still that he'll end up in Saudi Arabia, and these reports are just, yeah, they're just just rumors at the moment. We'll wait and see, but it's going to be, I think, a long discussion. It's going to keep going on and on and on. Hopefully, he signs quickly so we can get over this and not have to look back at it again and talk about it anymore. You there, Coach? Sorry. Maybe Coach is frozen there. Okay. Yeah, look. Yeah. Will he suit Chelsea? Can we get him at Chelsea? I think we need something like that, a similar striker. But yeah, look, I think there's too many problems, too much off-field stuff, and yeah, I don't see it happening. I think that bridge has been burned. I don't see that happening at all. I don't think that is going to happen. There is no way he's accepting what we are willing to offer him, and which is an incentivized contract, obviously. So it's not going to be. He's going to get nowhere near as close as what he wants. He might get close to that what he wants with us, but that's if he performs and scores a number of goals. Champions League depends how far we go in winning trophies, etc. Then he might hit those targets because they are incentivized contracts. But otherwise, yeah, no, he has to basically accept pretty much half of that to start with. So yeah, I just don't see that happening. I don't see him doing that. There's too much money, too much talk about money, and him, and he's talked it about himself and his camp and stuff. So no, I just don't see that happening, unfortunately. I'm not sure if that's me or Coach frozen. Can you guys hear me in the chat? Oh, looks like it's Coach, I think. Big up to everyone in the chat as well. Tobago, big up. And yeah, that is important, Tobago. As Tobago saying that we are waiting to see if we can make the Champions League or not. And I think there's probably some players waiting for that as well, to see if we make the Champions League or not. And that will definitely affect our yeah, I've hacked him, Tobago, correct. That will definitely affect our who we buy and how much, maybe even how much we pay some of the players as well. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yep. We'll just go on to João Pedro. Coach had that up just before I joined. Now, João Pedro, yeah, that is an interesting one, João Pedro. We've seen that there's a lot of news, a lot of credible sources. You back, Coach?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
It looks like my camera is still, okay. My camera is still there, but go ahead. What you're saying, João Pedro? Yeah, you've talked about Osimhen. I heard everything you said, but my screen was frozen at the time.
Yes.
I think I might go back to using StreamYard. It's lightweight, more lightweight than this. This guy has a lot of bells and whistles leading to the issues we're seeing right now. But go ahead.
And with your discipline, all those bells and whistles is a bit too much. I know. I understand. Yeah, look, João Pedro, I'm not a fan personally, to be honest. I know you put some stats up on X and stuff like that we talked about it a little bit yesterday on X. He's got 10 goals in the league, but yeah, 5 of those are penalties. So when you look at that, 5 goals, is that a striker that's worth 60 million? Well,
but can you also consider? I don't know why I haven't done that. The volume of chances he had to work.
But that's
with.
also worrying, Coach. He doesn't create.
Did they create a lot for him?
Well, that's either way. It's not good because he's on the field and playing. So then you're looking at another Nkunku situation. Doesn't get involved as much in the play. Doesn't get that many chances, but he's on the field playing as a striker. So I just don't think we need that type of player. look, he's a little bit taller, which is good. He's not strong. He's not strong at all, but he is physical. Plays a physical style of play, but he's quite slow now because he's gotten a bit taller from when he started at Watford, where he was 6 foot and he was playing more outside on the wings. But now he's 6'2", so he's grown quite a bit, and that's probably going to be his height now. So he's 6'2", so he's grown a bit. He's a bit taller. He's actually gotten much slower than when he first started. He's much slower now because he got taller as well. So he's one of those 9.5s type of player that just sort of drifts around the pitch in that false nine sort of nine role, and really doesn't do too much, doesn't get as many touches of the ball. And that's where you're saying that he doesn't get, but that's a bad thing for me because he doesn't have that many touches of the
No,
ball.
I haven't actually checked. That was off the bat. I need to look
Yeah.
at the volume of chances he had to work with to
Yeah.
what I need. Well, you could say in the most simple term, conversion rate, the ratio of chances he had.
No, it's 0. If I remember, it's 0.11 or something like that. It's very low. It's lower than
His
Jackson.
conversion rate. Okay.
I'm
But
pretty sure
did you
it's lower
check the
than
volume
Jackson.
of chances?
Jackson has more volume of chances, but if you do the maths and you sort of bring it as an average, I think he's a little bit lower than Jackson. So yeah, it's not the best. 5 goals for me. I'm not counting the penalties. The penalties, that's different for me. I don't look at that. 5 goals in 27 games in the Premier League, and he's played majority of the games. So he started majority of the games. So yeah, for me, it's just nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough for that price. If he's going for 30 million, maybe you can take a punt. And like you said, Nkunku's leaving and João Felix is leaving. Well, then maybe, yeah, because he can cover that when you need it. But we still, like you say, if we don't sign a proper striker on top of that, he's going to be another Nkunku type of signing that drifts
Yeah.
around the field, needs another big man, a striker up front to play with. That's when he's at his best. Otherwise, he's lost. He's just there or about and just sort of running around in a pattern, in a circle, getting a touch here and there, but never being in the box as many times when you need him there when a cross comes in. So it will be another Nkunku situation. So I don't see why we need to spend that much money on that type of player. For me, it's a bad call. Unless they've already got money lined up for Nkunku, João Felix is definitely out, and he's an option. Maybe then I'll be okay with it. But otherwise, look, you're buying a 60 million player. He's not really going to come be a squad player for 60 million player. It's not a squad player. You don't buy a squad player for 60 million. It's just too much. Yeah. If it was Jackson's money, which I think he deserves, probably Jackson's money, not even less than Jackson, to be honest. Jackson did a lot more than he's done. Then that's fine. But for 60 million, you're wasting a big portion of your salary and your wage. It's a waste for me at the moment. Yeah, so I would not go for him. I'm not the biggest fan the way he plays, to be honest. I think he was very good. I think he was much better when it was a couple of years ago, when he was a little bit younger, a little bit smaller, a bit more mobile. But now that he's grown quite taller, he's not as mobile. And if you look at him, you see he's quite slow with the ball. Yes, he's got a bit of skill, a bit of flair because he's Brazilian. He's got a bit of that. And then what I did discuss with you yesterday as well, he's also got some disciplinary issues as well, off-field stuff as well. On-field, but off-field stuff as well. There's been a few little reports here and there that, yeah, he's not a good boy, basically. So he's had a bit of problems off-field. So to me, that's a bit of a red flag as well, especially when you're going to bring someone like that into this young group. It's a little bit of a red flag. So anyway, we'll see what happens.
Let's see what happens indeed. Yep, Dante. He says, Dante, I am nervous about tomorrow's match, but we have to win. We have to win. I don't know, for some reason, maybe uh, maybe mine was set in tomorrow, but at this point, I'm not nervous. I have to be honest here. Coach has the Samoa Moradian trend left. He's left like long time ago. It just wouldn't make sense if we go if we decide to go sign him now. I think we'll pay nearly 10 times how much we would have paid for him. not maybe just to be honest, you could say around 50 to 100% more than we would have paid for him had we gone through again, or maybe had we signed them at the time. I can't quite remember how much we paid. We were willing to pay before the deal fell through. It's past. It's in the past now. And I haven't heard so much of him about him of late. He started well at Porto, right?
Portugal,
Um,
yeah, he's doing well, still doing well. He had a
so
good season. He got good
okay,
numbers.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if not that, I don't think we should go for him again. And I don't think the owners actually, I don't think they'd consider going for him. It'd be
Porto
the
won't
most
sell him
stupid
either.
thing.
They won't sell him now.
Yeah, and
Porto's going
Potter
to
won't
go for
sell
the
him.
league
Yeah,
title next season because the Sporting has gotten much weaker and they're going to get much weaker. They're going for the title next season, so they're stocking up on some other players. They're spending some money signing some players, so they're ready to go for the title next season. So I don't think he's getting sold. No, no.
yeah. I don't think so either. Mustafa Yasar, marhaba. Marhaba, Mustafa, my brother. I do hope you're doing well. Always nice to see you here. Thank you for joining us once again. Feel at home. Express yourself. All we ask of you is just to keep it civil. Coach, yeah, we've answered that question. Gone and gone. It's gone. Look look away from it. Big up my bros. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Big match eve. Yeah, exactly what it is. The most important game of the season. Yeah, win or burst. That's what it is. I missed somebody. I did see someone here I wanted to say hello to. How did I miss it? I think my screen froze. The vibe. Nice to see you, vibe. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you. I wanted to big you up, but
Mhm.
at the moment I wanted to do that, my screen froze.
The vibe disappeared
But
when you were about to do it.
yeah. But nice to see you once again. I do hope you're doing well. I think I also missed this. All I know, Chelsea are waiting to see if we make it to the Champions League or not to start negotiating with their transfer target. That may well be the case. I honestly do not know. So I did miss quite a lot when my screen froze. But I said hello to my bro here. Thank you for joining, dropping the heart. What happened to Renato Viega? Nothing happened. Um, quick, you can say overview of his situation from my perspective, my opinion. Um, the only place there's currently space for him in the Portuguese national team is the centre back position, and at Chelsea, the only area Maresca, I don't quite remember. I cannot remember him playing as a centre back, but he's played. He did play as a DM and then left back. So probably to keep his place in the Portuguese national team at club level, he has to be playing as a centre back because him playing as left back at Chelsea and then playing as centre back for Portugal carries some measure of risk. So that was why I believe he pushed to join Juventus to get to play in a position where Roberto, what's his name? The former Belgian national team coach will say, okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you've been doing it at club level. So, yeah, I'd be comfortable playing you that because that's the only place he has space there. In the midfield area, they're packed. So you know, when he pushed to join Juve, it made sense why he did that. It did make sense to me why he did that. Ankit here is saying, if we are offering 50 million for João Pedro, shouldn't we be testing Newcastle for Gordon or go for Xavi or Simons unless João Pedro is being signed as a striker, which I hope not. More of a second striker, more of a second striker. That's what he is. I don't think he's that quote unquote that striker in question that we've been told will sell 99 players and use all the money accumulated from the sales of those players to buy an important striker, according to Fabrizio Romano. But here's the thing. Listen, I don't think we're signing him as that guy. And the price being quoted, it's just I don't believe that really. Because it's a bit too much. Really, 60 million euros, which should still be a 50 plus million pounds. I haven't done the mathematics, but that I know probably you should know.
Yeah.
Is anyone going for Gurasi? No, Dortmund just signed him, didn't they? Last season.
Yeah, and he's 30 years old basically, so no, it's not
Yeah,
happening.
And if you're interested in signing him, you'd pay a lot more to get him. He was cheap actually at the time. I think it was on the market for around 18 million pounds or so. I can't quite remember. Guarantee we should have gone for him last season, but his age was at the time we knew what was probably an issue, but the rumors did emerge at the time suggesting that we were interested in signing him. Let's get the likes up, people. The likes will go along with 7 likes. We can do a lot better than that. A total of 62 people, but only 14 on YouTube. Yeah, with 14 people, we should have at least 10 likes. Javi Simons costs 80 million. That's a lot of money too. And you could argue, we I think we're good on the flanks. I don't think signing a winger is a priority for us. I think it's a striker mainly, then maybe a central defender.
And a winger, coach. We're still looking to sign a winger,
Gwenda is
left-sided,
still,
right-footed winger.
but all the players we have can play on either flanks.
Yeah, but we don't have right-footed, so that's why they really want a right-footed winger that gives them. It's been in every single report. Maresca's kind of alluded to it, and that is a position they're looking at. They want a left-sided, but a right-footed winger that can play. That's predominantly a right-footed, so he can cut in, shoot, can play on the right as well, in behind. But they need a right-footed, and it makes sense because all of them are left-footed. So
Okay, but
it makes sense, yeah.
But here's what I wanted to say. Let me phrase it this way: if we don't sign one, it's not going to be the end of the world. We'll be more in
No,
trouble
no.
if we don't sign a number 9.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. No, no. But
Mm.
yeah, I think they're going to sign definitely a winger as well. They probably know something about Mudryk as well. Let's not forget Mudryk as well. He can come in and do that, but we don't know how long that will be. That could be another
And
6
just
months,
quickly, where
another
are we
year.
with this case with Modric's situation? Any updates? Where are we with this situation?
Yeah, no updates. There's nothing. They're keeping it very
No
quiet until.
specific time frame of his again for his absence, right? Because with the second, we haven't actually heard much about the second test.
No, nothing. But coach, look, even if they're not guilty, for players not guilty, it's still going to take the process. He's still going to be basically out from other cases and stuff. They were nearly out 2 seasons, most of the players, because
Mm.
that's how the process takes long. And then you got to appeal and all this. It's a long process. On average, it was like a month. Sorry, a season and a half to 2 seasons. They'll be out regardless. If he's guilty, obviously a lot more. But regardless, if he's not guilty, the process will take nearly a season and a half, 2 seasons, around that sort of ballpark. So I already knew he's going to be out, the last 6 months, and probably the next 6 months he'll probably be out anyway. And that's probably why we are looking at another winger as well on top, because they probably want someone else to cover for that. And we don't know if he is guilty or there's something. There might be a clause. Well, the 100% will be a clause in his contract that his contract will be terminated. So
I'm guessing there is. So why
yeah, of
why
course.
would they shock the next president, or who, I can't forget the role of the guy who made it public that he's passed a polygraph test, aka lie
Yeah,
detector test. They're concerned because they're going to lose a lot of money if he's found guilty.
yeah, but it
There's,
doesn't matter. It makes no difference if he passed the polygraph test, coach, because that polygraph test, if he's lying or not. But even if he
but
doesn't
I'm just
know,
saying. I'm
yeah,
just saying. For me, the way I see it is that they're concerned. I don't care whether I'm not. I wasn't actually
yeah,
sure how that changes, whether that would change anything
doesn't change
to
nothing.
any
Yeah,
measure yet.
it does, because it's just him. Even if he had no knowledge of it, but he took it, it doesn't matter because he's still in his blood, in his system, and you're not allowed to.
And
And
you're
that's
responsible for
yeah,
whatever you ingest. It's really that simple,
exactly,
irrespective of
exactly.
how it
So
happens.
it doesn't matter if he passed a polygraph test. It's good he doesn't know about it, but he didn't take it willingly. So he passed the polygraph test because he didn't take it willingly.
I
But
mean,
that
it
doesn't matter
will
in this
take a
instance.
lot to
Yeah,
prove that he didn't take it willingly.
yeah.
How are you going? Then, if you didn't take it willingly, then if it was added to something the entire camp ingested, then it shouldn't be just you alone. Others should be test. I mean, it's difficult to
Yeah,
prove
yeah, yeah.
that,
Correct.
yeah, you didn't take it intentionally.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what I mean. It makes no difference. The polygraph test doesn't help with nothing, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's by the way. Let's get on with the show. No update at all. Thank you, Tabejo. And the Demonite is saying lie detector test wouldn't help him. Mudrik is done. I mean, he's saying I maybe done at Chelsea. I think he'd still play football again because if you fail a doping test, you don't get banned for life. I haven't heard that,
No,
or maybe I missed it.
no.
Paul Pogba got his case reduced to only 18 months.
Exactly. No, he's young. It's first offense. Like, yeah, if there's nothing other offenses in the past or nothing, well, then he's fine. Even if it is, he'll be back. There's no big problem with that. It'll be like a couple of years. He'll be back. So,
And the truth
yeah,
remains, it can be damaging. Yeah, I get it. It's not forever, but it can be damaging reputation. There will still be people questioning your character.
of course,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
All right, that's by the way. Anything else we have here? We want to get to the match preview exercise as soon as possible, and after that, we'll go news hunting in case anything new emerges as the show progresses, so we can address them. João Pedro, we've talked about him too. Conflicting reports, because new reports suggest we were interested in signing him, but we haven't actually started negotiating, started talks with Brighton. Why am I looking at this guy here? But that's by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way, and I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Dante, before we start looking at the game, I know a lot of people are concerned. Maybe this will be a good copium. Or copium. How do you pronounce it? For those that are concerned. This is a team comparison. Comparing Chelsea, I think I think it'd be correct to call it output throughout the season with that of Nottingham Forest. But before I do that, let's see here what the Demonite has to say here. He reads, Mudryk is retroactively or already serving his suspension. He has already served 6 months of suspension. Of what length in total? What 6 months of how long? I want to know. Well, thank you for helping us with that information right there. So Dante, I don't know if do I need to zoom more so you can see better
No, it's
here. Can
fine.
you
I
see
can
my
see it.
screen?
I can
All
see
right.
it. Yep.
So this is Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest stats wise. We beat them in pressing, beat them in goals, beat them in attacking, beat them in possession. But that's nothing. Defending, we beat them. Physicality, slightly, we beat them. But off the bat, if you ask people, they tell you that they're more physical than us.
They have more physical players than us.
Yeah, exactly. But how do they apply themselves? But we apply ourselves more in a physical manner than they do. But here's the thing: we edge them in a lot of the metrics here. But here's this place: the counters. I think is
That's the whole
very
game.
critical.
Yeah.
So let's get your thoughts. What can we learn from what we're looking at on the screen here?
Basically, what you see there, they're a low block team that counters. That's their game, counter attack, and that
Yeah.
is their game. They sit back, they go into some nasty low blocks at times, and basically 11 men behind the ball, and they do like to counter quickly with the speed of their wide players and get crosses into their big man. And 70% of their goals are scored by headers. So, and that is Wood up front scoring.
70, a whopping 70% of their goals.
Yes, no, Wood, as in the striker.
Oh, they're number 9.
Yeah. His 70% of his goals are like headers. But that tells you a lot of the team as well. They get a lot of crosses into him. That's part of the game, is to flood the crosses in, corners, whatever, set pieces. They're very good at those. So they're always gonna go the early cross, but even not really early, the next straight away second phase cross into Wood, because that's his biggest strength, aerial ability. And that's why I believe it's very important that Tosin starts this game and he marks.
Yeah, I was
Wood.
going to ask you.
Yeah.
That definitely will make it difficult for Maresca to start his, you could say, favored pairing of Trevor Chalobah and Levi Cole. I think Tosin needs to come in because Tosin is excellent aerially, honestly. But go ahead,
Yep,
what you were saying.
exactly, and that's important because he wins pretty much in all the aerial balls that come into the box. If Tosin's there, he wins them all. I've hardly ever seen him beaten in an aerial duel. Hardly ever. And even in the last game, he shut down their striker as well. So yeah, he's key, I think, and Maresca will see that. We know he goes game by game basis. He tweaks the team a little change here and there by who the opposition is. So I'm pretty confident that he will put Tosin in there to deal with their main threat, which is in the box. Their main threat in the box is by far Chris Wood. So yeah, to deal with that, he just needs to basically mark man Wood and don't let him get in his. And that's also when they go long, coach. They like to go long to him from the back as an outlet. They always go long to him to win the ball and bring the ball down, control the ball, and get. They attack like that a lot as well. They do that quite a lot. So you can say a bit of an old school type of playing as well. So that's why tossing is very important. Even for those long balls, they go long from goal kicks or from just to clear it out from the back. They're going to go long to him every single time because he brings the ball down most of the times. He's very good in the air and he's very, very strong as well. So there's only one player that can deal with him in our squad, and that is by far Tossin. There's no one even close that can deal with him aerially or strength-wise. I think it's only Tossin, to be honest.
And in terms of calming the nerves down of that our defense, our back line, I think we'll see the start we saw against Newcastle United. The
Oh,
helter
yeah.
skelter everywhere, and it was deliberate by Eddie Howe. He knew that would unsettle us, and at the start of that game, we were awful because we weren't able to deal with what they were trying to do. They were coming at us
Exactly.
persistently. They didn't relent, knowing that we've had issues dealing with that sort of starts in games. I think Tosin will be needed because he's capable of slowing things down and frustrating the opposition should they try to start the game in that manner, just like Newcastle United did.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
That's.
'cause they
I
don't
think
want possession.
he probably starts. Go ahead.
They don't want possession. Nottingham Forest don't want possession. They don't want the ball.
Hmm.
They want the opposition to have the possession. For that specific reason, they want to count on the counter, and then when they get out wide, that even if they keep the ball a second phase, and then they'll cross it into Wood, basically. So their whole game, if they don't go past the first phase, they don't get through on goal, like with their wingers with the speed, Elanga, Hudson Odoi. If they don't get, then the second phase they bring it back, and then they go out wide and they cross it into Wood. So that's basically their whole game plan. It's not that hard to shut down, but yeah, look, it's a dangerous way. They've got the right players to play that system like perfectly because they've got exactly those type of players to play it exactly to a T, that system. So yeah, look, they're not fun to watch because they're not. They're like I said, they give the opposition the ball, they go nasty low block, but they get results. It's a results-driven system to get results, draws, and wins. The problem is with them once they concede. If they concede first, well, then they're in trouble. They lose pretty much nearly all the games they've lost where they concede because then they have to open up in the second half. And
Which
once they
isn't
open
their
up,
thing.
it's not their thing. It breaks down completely, and they're out of position, out of that structure, that really tight structure, and their formations and the zonal marking, and they're gone, and they get beaten if that's the case. So the start to this game is very important. And I watched their manager's press conference, DeSanto, and he said clearly, he said the key to the game is we're going to start very fast. We want to start very fast, and then hopefully they score, and that's it. Shut down the shop. Exactly what Newcastle did. They know that's a bit of our, like you said earlier, that's a big concern of us, that we start slow, and teams have noticed that, and they go hard the first 20, 30 minutes to get a goal first. So that's very important. Yeah, that's a key
So
point as well.
concentration will be key. I think
100%. Yeah.
if we can survive the first 15 minutes, I think that'd be it. The game will settle. Um, but we'll see. I hope we have a good game plan. I trust Enzo Maresca. He's an intelligent manager. He's proven that, even though a lot of people would disagree with me. But we'll see. This
Yeah,
year,
we Well, we beat them, like you said, coach. We beat them, but we drew last time. We drew as well, but the man of the match was the keeper.
We
Like he pulled
did
off
beat
3 or
them
4.
on their turf last season.
Yeah, we beat them there, and then 1-1. They got a player sent off, but we couldn't capitalize because their keeper pulled up 4 or 5 world class saves, but we were all over them. Like we should have won that game easily. So we've actually had the better of them every time we've played because, like I said, we scored first, so that's a big difference. You want to score first most of the time. So this is a team that if they score first, it's going to be they're going to defend with 11. It's going to be very difficult to break
And
them
you could
down.
argue, looking at this, let's go back to the presentation window here. I think we've talked about that, but let's emphasize it emphasize that again. You could say we enveloped them here. I agree. We attack more. Some important more goals and everything. But you could argue the most important metric here against a side like us, because we'll be all out to attack. The fact that they counter better than us, we should change something a beat. Maybe Lavia being on the pitch, I think that will make a difference in ensuring that they
Yeah.
don't hit us on a break and get a goal.
Yeah. Is that stat for this season, coach? This stats or
It's
this
this
is
season,
for
24, yeah, 24, 25.
Yep, yep. So uh yeah, look, Maresca's gonna look at that. He knows that already. He knows that because we played them already. He knows what to expect. But it was a little bit different that game because like I said, they had a player sent off. So it was a little bit different that game. It wasn't quite the same. But I'm sure he's looked at other games last season and even last season we beat him. But really, even in that game, because that was our ex-manager. It was basically end-to-end counter-attacks. Uh, yeah, they should have scored a lot of goals against us even last season because they had a lot of chances. But when they're not going to get that against this team, they're not going to get that same. We're not going to be open like we were under our previous manager. That's a completely different team now. So yeah, they're not going to get many chances. I doubt it very much. So that's why, like we said, Tosson's important. The start is important, and Tosson is very important to man mark Wood and really neutralize their biggest threat by far. What he's got 25 goals or something, so he's pretty much all their goals and all the, like I said, pretty much all the threat is him. He's the number one threat by far. So I'm not
Yeah,
worried about their I'm not worried about their wingers as much because Cucurella can shut down Hudson-Odoi and that, no problem. Um, I'm not too worried about their winger. I'm more worried about Wood. Yeah, that he's the main threat.
Yeah, Tosin, it's important to deal with the area of threat and also more importantly, calming the nerve of that young defensive line. I think that would be key. These days, I don't count Kukurea as a defender, even though he does a lot defensively. He's one of our best defenders, actually. Yeah, it's important to play Tosin against Wood. Tosin is the diamond in the rough. We underestimated. Listen, if you understand football, you'd know he's actually, in my opinion, one of our best CBs. He reads the game better than I don't know. I don't know who comes close to him in terms of reading the game. He doesn't panic on the sustained pressure just like the younger players do. But you could say that a concern. You could argue. I think it's gone. Actually, they don't. We've shown that we can actually defend resiliently on the sustained pressure and not make silly mistakes like we've seen in the past. And I think that's great to see. But Tosin is the best. If he starts, I think that will make a lot of difference. But once again, looking at the spider graph, it gives you hope. We beat them in a lot of the 90% of the metrics, yeah, because they beat us just in one, which is counter. But you could say that also the most important, yeah, because the way we play, because we be all out to attack and get a goal, and then yeah, they can exploit that effectively. They depend on long balls a lot. Okay, hopefully we prepare for that.
And that's why
Oh God.
our possession game, like a very technical side, a possession side, like we are,
Mhm.
that helps break down a team like this because we're not going to fully attack them all the time. We're going to try to draw them out, and they have to come out because they have to get the ball. So we're going to try to stretch them, and we're going to see a lot of passing around the back. We're going to see a lot of that in this game, especially in the first half. because we're going to try to draw them out of position. It's the only way really to do it against a team like this, because otherwise you got no chance if you're just going to keep going, because they're going to be all behind the ball and there's no room in there as well. So you have to pass it around a lot to move them out of position, and
patience is needed.
And patience is needed, correct? Yes.
Yeah, patience
100%.
is needed. Thank goodness it's not a Stanford Bridge where they just want you to go at it, risk everything, and when you lose, it's your fault. Listen, I think let's just catch up with what we have and then get to looking at what the insights will tell us. I usually like to read Google Insights, but I didn't open it today. Tosin is easily our best CV, underrated, really. A lot of people say he's not quick. Tosin is deceptively quick. One thing he has in common, I'm not saying he's Thiago Silva, is he reads the game so well. You hardly get him in a position where he'd have to race against you to get the ball. He's always at the right place at the right time to stop you 1v1 rather than race trying to catch up. You hardly get him in that position. But unfortunately, a lot of people they see football only on surface level. But nice one to you too. How are you doing? Graphic user interface. Yeah, Mark Gee. I've been calling him Gooey for how long right now? Then realized I was been pronouncing his name wrongly. But nice to see you. Look at their counters. Yeah, that's where they edge us. And for me, that's important because of the way we play. Yeah, but maybe Maresca changes. He's changed of late. I think he's proven, not of late, actually. I know people call him one trick pony, which is one of the biggest lies in football. As I've told people, the fundamentals of his approach remain the same, but a lot of stuff move, a lot of stuff change, and based on the opposition. But unfortunately, it's a narrative. You can say a herd mentality. If we say it, people see you as you have a good ball knowledge. That's dangerous, which we said, that's concerning, really, because of the way we play. We risk a lot, but I think Maresca he's smart enough. He should be able to address that. Let's see. You would need 2 anchors, and I think we're going to see that on that day. Dante, what do you think? We'll see Caicedo and Lavia. But when we get to the lineup building exercise, we'll figure out who makes way, because we have to let go one player. And I don't think it's Enzo Fernandez, because we need him. He's been in great form. A draw should get us a top 5. We don't need to go crazy. A draw, no. If we draw, then we have to pay attention to the outcome of other games. Am I wrong, Dante? I think we'll look at it.
Yeah, look, you need to win if you want to 100% be certain. You have to win. A draw depends on some other results as well. So, no, a draw is probably enough to get us into Europa League, but
not Champions League.
Not Champions League.
Even Europa League, are we too certain with the draw? I think we'll look at it. We'll bring up the table when we get to that aspect of the show, and be sure we're not just throwing numbers at you out of our zoo. But go ahead, Dante, if you were saying something.
Yeah, no, like you said, Coach, you need to win to get 100% of the Champions League. 100%, yeah. A draw is not enough. I don't see Villa losing and who they're playing and stuff. So I don't see some of the other teams losing. So you definitely need to win this game to make.
And it's best to see it in that light. It's better to believe that Villa aren't going to lose. Had Manchester United they fired what's his name, Amorim, then you could say we get a little bit of help from new manager bounce.
They don't care. Man United players, their heads are gone. They don't care about that game. They don't give a crap about that game, to be honest.
Maybe their home crowd will make a difference.
No, because their home crowd's going to boo them. It will not make a difference. It will make it worse.
There's
protests planned and everything, so no, it will not be a pleasant atmosphere. I saw the post. They're not staying around. The home fans are not staying around for like their after the game. They're leaving early apparently. So it's not going to be a pleasant atmosphere. And yeah, I can see Aston Villa completely, really destroying them, to be honest.
You just have to put your hope on one fact, on the fact that football is unpredictable. Anything can happen.
Yeah, but Amarin's already alluded. They're going to drop a lot of players, so they're going to play with a lot of different players as well. So,
I'd like to see that because that makes a
yeah, you
difference.
like to see that, but
Yeah.
nah, I don't know. I don't think. Honestly, I think it's a very, very. I'll give them a 5% chance to beat Aston Villa. Not even maybe 2% chance.
Wow. A draw should get us up to, yeah, we've talked about that. And Mark Newman saying Lavia has to start this game. Is Mark Gee back? He could win us this game. Yeah, he's back. And I'd like him to start. I think he can press better than what's his name? He can fulfill that number 9 role than Tariq Judge. But although the truth remains, Tariq was more of a decoy than I don't think the intent was for him to operate as a traditional number 9, more of a decoy, and more importantly, first of all, it was a fluid approach.
Yep, yep.
Although he wasn't really good at fulfilling that role. I didn't complain because I understood what the manager was doing. But that's by the way. We move on from that. What else do we have here? We need Tosin, but the manager did say that Mark Gui is available for selection, right?
And in Kunku,
And
unfortunately.
in Kunku too. So we could see in Kunku because he's more experienced of the two,
Yeah.
and we could see in Kunku. You never know. We need Tosin's leadership. Yep, we do need that. I don't want sales master class tomorrow, please. That keeper is good. Yeah, yeah. A draw. No, yeah, we don't need a draw. We need to win. We need to win. A draw would put us back to the Conference League again. We don't want that. I'd rather us not qualify for anything else. If it's not the Champions League, let's not qualify for anything. It's only Chelsea you see losing. No, I haven't. We haven't said Chelsea we're gonna lose. We just we looked at the stats and objectively tried to learn from it, and the conclusion is that we have to play with balance. We have to be cautious because they counter better than we do, just slightly. But our counter prowess is useless because they're gonna defend deep. So, but I wanted to ask you, Dante, don't you think they'll be all out for a win? Because they need
Yeah.
to win.
They need to win. Yeah, they need to win to get into Europe. So yes, look, like I said, Nuno Santo, he's in the interview. He said they're going to start they want to start very quick and very strong and get the early goal. So you'll probably see them maybe the first 10, 15 minutes go really hard to try to get a goal. If they don't get that goal, they'll probably sit back and wait till halftime and just try to be strong and defend, and then maybe try again the second half. But yeah, look, it just depends how the game goes. But that first half, yeah, I don't see it too much. Like I said, they'll probably attack a little bit at the start. They'll try to catch us out at the start, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But after that, they'll settle into a low block and they won't risk it anymore. Second half, if it keeps going that way, then towards the end of the second half, if it's still 0-0 or whatever, then they will have to go for it again. But they will be very cautious when they do as well. They're not going to play completely because he knows that team can't play like that. They can't play like that. It's been proven all season when they do play like that, they get overrun and they get beaten by most teams. So they can't play like that consistently. They have to choose their time when to do it. And I think he will do it in the first 10, 15 minutes. Then you'll see a complete low block usual.
Mhm.
And yeah, then they'll try again the second half, maybe from the 70th minute on, if they're still in the game. They'll definitely go again at it. If say it's 0-0 after 70 minutes, you'll see him probably going again at it again right at the end to try to get the win. But you're not going to see them completely change and just go attacking football like majority of the game. That's just not how they play. They won't do that. They've
All right.
overachieved this season as
After
well.
this last,
Let's not forget they've overachieved by far. They're already in a good position, and they'll probably get Conference League already, I think. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they get Conference League anyway. So they're already overachieved. They're
irrespective
already
of
going to be in Europe.
how. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so they're already going to be in Europe, coach, basically. Uh, and for them, that's huge because that they haven't been close to that or near it for a long time. So they've already overachieved and they kind of already hit their target for the season. And he did say that in the interview in a way. He was playing it down because the reporter was saying, "You've already achieved, you've already overachieved, you hit your target. Basically, you're going to be basically in Europe already." Uh, it's just if they win, they have a chance of going into the next like Europa or even Champions League if they win, based on other results, of course. But for them, they've already overachieved, yeah, and they've already hit their target by far.
All right. After this comment and the next one, we get into looking at the insights and try to do the lineup exercise. Hopefully, Dante will still have time because it's about time his boy wakes up. Maresca should start with the 4-3-3. Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo midfield. James right back. Need as much control as possible. We need to survive the first 15 to 20 minutes. Yep, I think we did say that a few minutes ago. 20 minutes. Sanchez is one of the biggest press triggers. Some deep stuff right there. Their owner wants the Champions League. I think he's putting, I like it, he's putting a lot of pressure on them, and that could backfire, actually,
Could backfire.
in my
He wants
opinion.
it, obviously. We saw him go on the field.
Yeah,
Remember, we saw him go on the field.
yeah. Eh, the way he's doing it, I think it could backfire, actually. Nuno and Forest are under a lot of pressure. Forest already had meetings about firing Nuno if he doesn't get Champions League. Forest is under a lot of pressure. I think they're setting themselves for a failure. Yeah,
I don't
the
see them firing
pressure.
him. Yeah,
I think probably he end up, even if you don't fire him
he'll
after
leave.
such, he will leave. Yeah, and that's not okay, really. Okay, let's look at the insights here. What can we learn? Of course, I'd say, let me say, a lot of people, given what's out there, a lot of people don't give Chelsea a chance. I think probably it'd be nearly 50-50, but I'll pick Chelsea. Wow, ooh. 62% believes Chelsea will beat Nottingham Forest. 10% believes he ends in a draw, and 28% believes Forest will beat Chelsea. Wow. That's I didn't expect it to be that that the disparity in the percentage of those that believe that Chelsea win and those that believe it ends in the draw, and Nottingham Forest beating Chelsea. Wow, that's serious. Yeah, we have to win. If not, I can tell you, my dislike for Maresca increases tremendously. Yeah, do I need to hear you say that before I know? But much love to you. So let's see insights where they are needed to round up as soon as possible because I know Dante will run soon. Insights. Nottingham Forest have scored 5 goals in their last 5 matches, and we've scored 9 goals in our last 5 matches. We Chelsea, of course. Good sign, number one. That metric we beat, but it's not a guarantee. It just gives you you can say a sensible idea or a good idea who will again who will score more given what that particular stats statistics tell us. It's not certain, it suggests that the most likely outcome will be this. So it suggests Chelsea will have scored them. So they've scored 5 in their last 5 games. We've scored 9. And they haven't kept a clean sheet in 8 matches. Signs are good for us. I think we've kept a few clean sheets in 8 matches. Then the next metric there reads
And who
Morgan
they played
Gibbs.
as well, coach. 'Cause they played Leicester and West Ham. They've, they scored goals, but those teams really, they haven't really played against good teams, to be honest.
So you're
So
suggesting that they should have scored more?
no, not more, but that's for them. They don't score more than 2 goals a game. That's the most I think they've scored. I
Okay.
think 2. Yeah, they don't score more than 2 goals. But the last couple of results have been against West Ham. They won 2-1. Then Leicester, they drew 2-2 with Leicester, and then they drew with Crystal Palace 1-1. So that's their 5 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. So which means you could say they don't score that many, like you've explained already. So Morgan Gibbs White has created the most big chances for Nottingham Forest, 10 in total. Nottingham Forest has the most shots on target per match for Chelsea, 1.5. Cole Palmer is ranked
That's
second
the
in big
keeper, yeah.
chances created in the competition, 23 in total. Not bad. I think numbers, insights, if you prefer, suggest a win for Chelsea. But let's look at goal concession. In 5 games, we won four, lost one against Newcastle United. You could argue, had it not been uh, that we had to play a majority of the game, one man down, we could have won. Look how good we played on that day with 10 men. But that's by the way. So in 5 games, we won four, lost one. In 5 games, they won just one, lost two, and the two losses were at home.
Yeah, against
Okay.
Brentford.
Yeah. Lost two at home, drew two,
Not the Man City one. That's a FA Cup semi-final.
but it's still a loss. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they lost two at home, drew two, and 1-1 away against West Ham United. I mean, I'd be shocked if they didn't win that one. After all, Potter.
Oh, and West Ham had plenty of chances in that game as well. Actually, they
Mm,
had a lot of chances. West Ham, so they didn't play that good, to be honest.
yeah. So looking at it, let's see how many goals they have did Chelsea concede in those 5 games. We conceded one here, two here, 4 goals in total. And they considered that 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8. They considered a lot more. So overall numbers tell us that Chelsea will edge this one. It should be around goal concession for us. For Chelsea, is around not even one, but we kept yeah, around 1 point or something close to one. I can't. I need the calculator to get that one right. But they considered a lot more than us. We considered a lot less, of course. We scored a lot more. They scored you could say a lot less. Yeah. So numbers suggest it's going to be a win for Chelsea. But then again, you cannot predict football. You cannot script football. Anything can still happen. The numbers just give you a sensible idea with regards to the possible outcome of the game. So we move on from that. Big up to you too, IB. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join us. What did he say? Big up everyone. Dante, of course. You just
Except me.
he's all right, let's move on. Let's get to the lineup prediction exercise. I don't know, Dante, you want to
He's
do
not happy,
yours
coach. He
separately?
broke up with his mistress, so he's not very happy.
No, who's not happy?
IB.
So you say, oh, he's awake.
No. I said IB is not happy because he broke up with his mistress, so he's not very happy at me. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We didn't say anything. Maybe she got to watch the video. Uh, so Dante, you want to do your own lineup separately, and I'll do mine separately, or should we work together? I don't know, whatever you want to do. But
Go
let's say
together
you
because
let's.
we're going to be pretty much spot on, probably the same, very similar.
All right, so let's go. Between the six, Jorgensen.
Jorgensen, yeah.
I hope this works. It looks like I'm going to have a problem. I don't know. I did update it before I turned it on back on. So yeah, Sanchez here. Okay, give me 1 second here. Let's plug in the most difficult, you can say, positions. Kukurea left back, right?
Yep.
We had to consult MI6 and the FBI to help us figure out who's going to play there. So I think James, after that performance in our last game, I think he starts this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. Yes, I think so. Especially with the low block, if they're gonna mostly low block, which they will first half anyway. So yeah, I think James will definitely start there. Yes, because he can go a little bit more
And James
forward.
he can actually. I know. Yeah, I know he's not the quickest, but he can defend effectively
He can
if
defend
needed.
effectively, but also will give us a little bit more going
Mhm.
forward as well.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have my ink. Let me get my ink. Two center backs. Uh, yeah, Tosin stats. and he did well. He played the last game, right? Didn't he?
He did, yes, and he played very
Yeah,
well. Yeah,
and
he
he did. Yeah, he did really well. Yeah. I think he starts this one too. I'm trying to get yellow ink
yeah,
here
I think
because
he
I
starts
might
this
need
one.
to.
Chalobah will probably, the Conference League. I think Chalobah's registered. Was he registered? Or maybe he's not registered. I can't remember actually with Chalobah. But I don't see Chalobah starting this. It would be a bit suicide to start him against Chris Wood because he cannot handle Chris Wood. Colwell cannot handle Chris Wood. Yeah, I think it needs to be Tossin, and it will be Colwell next to him. But yeah, unlucky to miss out Chalobah because he's been in great form. But he can't handle Chris Wood, that height and the physicality he can a little bit, but not the height.
Tosin's side gives him an edge over Chris Wood.
And he's quite
Or you could say
strong too,
at
Dawson,
least
yeah.
balances things to a certain extent.
It does. Well, you see pretty much every cross that comes in the box, who's the one that clears nearly 80% of our clearances is Tossin, because he's that tall. He's very tall. So he's like Sanchez pretty much. So he's very tall. So he can get his head on every single ball and he clears everything. And his positioning is very, very good. That's
Yeah,
the other thing.
he reads the game
He
very,
reads
very
the
well.
game and his positioning is perfect. Yeah, so that's a big advantage. Where usually Shalaba and Colwell positioning are they're not that good at positioning, and they like to, instead of attacking the ball like Tossin does to clear it, they first look at a man. They want to put a body on a man first, and then compete with that man to clear the ball. So that's the big difference. They don't go look for the clearance straight away to go for the header. They look at the man that's there, and then they put a body on that man and try to put him off. So there's a big difference there. Yeah, it's not quite the same.
Yeah, I do agree. I thought we were talking football. Yeah, we were. I hope we're not starting to say that right back. I don't see that happening. Pedro Neto false nine. I don't think we do that again. I think he'll stay on the flanks, and the truth remains, if we can keep Pedro on the flanks, I think Nottingham Forest will be more concerned because of his pace and also his dribbling ability. I'd rather him stay on the flanks, really. With
Yeah,
yeah,
I disagree a little bit. I would probably put him as the 9 to start off this game,
go ahead, elaborate.
just because strength. He's quite strong compared to George. Like you said, George last game, he wasn't it was more of a decoy. Like you said, he was floating around, but
Yeah,
every time he did have the ball, get close to the ball to receive a pass, the opposition would give him a bit of a shoulder and he couldn't get the ball. He hasn't got
he
that
was muscled off the ball easily.
easily, and you can't. Pedro Neto doesn't get muscled off the ball that easily. He's quite strong, actually. He's got uh, he's a lower center of gravity, but he's got big, strong legs, and he's really plants himself, and he knows how to win a foul as well. So he's makes intelligent runs as a striker. We saw that when he played as striker 3 games in a row when he played that striking role. He made intelligent runs. He confused the defenders a lot,
And
but
he can
also can
shoot.
hold up. He can hold up position, physical play because he's got that strength. He's quite a strong player, Pedro Neto,
And he can shoot too.
and he's a very good shooter too. So
Yeah.
I prefer him over George. If there's no other options, we know Guy's back and Nkunku's back, but I still prefer Pedro Neto as the striker because for that reason, I definitely think he suits more that striking role much more than George does.
Yeah. All right. Big up to you to the Princes here, as the band would say. Always nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. To me, Tosin shouldn't start. I prefer Chalobah because of the pace. I think you better be concerned about their area of threat than their pace. I think pace we can manage that more than risking you could say not having a capable a player capable of defending aerial balls than you could say. We shouldn't focus on pace mainly. We should focus on both. Good balance. We have players that are, you could say, quick enough on the flanks, but we shouldn't even allow the situation to come uh, to a place where we'd have to race against their players. So that's easily manageable. But area of threat, you'd have to have a capable aerial a player that's good aerially like Tosin on the pitch to be able to deal with that. And because of a lot of the balls that were spammed towards our own area, I have at the start of the game, we need Tosin also who is able to deal with sustained pressure from the opposition and can calm the nerves of our defensive line and help us settle into the game. So Chalobah can make some. Even though he's done well of late, I think it'd be a huge risk to start him over Tosin. But that's by the way. I want to also give Robert Sanchez credit. I think his high claims has helped us deal with aerial balls. He comes off his line more times than usual than he did last season or at the start of the season, and that has helped us deal with set piece effectively. What do you think, Dante?
Yeah, he's definitely improved in grabbing balls, coach. He's definitely
Oh
done that,
gosh. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm,
especially
mm-mm.
high balls.
All right, I'm not doing that today.
It's true. You said it. He's been claiming,
I
coming
didn't
out and
say
claiming.
that. I
He's
said
been,
high claims. I
yeah, he's
said
been
high
coming.
claims.
I said high as well, high balls. He's been coming out and grabbing all the high balls. He's been doing very well.
I'm not talking to you again, seriously. All I know is that
He's not fumbling his balls as much.
his high claims has improved significantly, and that has helped us uh, deal with area of threats. You're going to hell, honestly. I'm I want Pedro Neto as first nine. Okay. Maybe I'm not paying attention. More. I think Noni should be given a chance at nine. I think he's probably going to be useless. Yeah, if you play him as nine,
Yeah,
I
look,
think he'd be useless.
at least it will give him we won't be worried about being selfish because he can be selfish as the number 9, no problem. He can shoot whenever he wants and not pass the ball. Yeah, that'll help.
My coffee is finished, so you guys should just leave me alone. I just want this show to be done. All right. Tosin, I think it makes sense. And I think the fact that he started him in our last game and I expected Tosin to start and he did. And yeah, but that's by the way, a 2-6 is I don't know. I think this is where the work starts, Dante.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, we know Caicedo is going to definitely play, so Caicedo will be there. I think
I think
Enzo.
Lavia plays too. We might see them as the 2-6s.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. This is it's either Caicedo starts right center, right back, and then James doesn't start these games, and he starts the Conference League final as the captain. Maybe. Look, Maresca at the press conference was asked about this. Finally, a good question. Thank God. He said there might be 1 or 2 changes rotational because for the
The
Conference League
rotation is
final.
it's not going to be drastic. I think it's
No,
going
but
to
he
be
said there
just a
will be
few.
probably a couple of. He will have to be forced to make a couple of changes to rotate. He said because of the Conference League finals so quick, the turnaround so quick. So when he did say that, I was thinking, will he maybe start Caicedo and put Lavia and not James and start
And
James for the
rest
Conference League
Enzo.
final?
And not rest Enzo, keep Enzo on the bench.
Because he did
If
play
things
90 minutes the last game. I'm pretty sure James. It was the first 90 minutes game in a long time. So is
I
that.
think James starts this game.
Yeah, well, that's the only change I think that can be, really, to be honest. That's the only change I can see happening.
Wow.
Otherwise, it will be, it will be Enzo. Like you see, it will be Enzo. The only change is that Caicedo will go right back, sorry, and then invert into midfield. That is the only change, and then you can play Lavia and Enzo as well. Otherwise, I think
I
Lavia
don't.
might not start. I think it'll be Enzo and Caicedo.
You don't think the focus would be to start two more traditional sixes than have Enzo then move things around? I don't know. It's
No,
difficult to say, really.
it's difficult, but that's the only change that I can see happening. There's no other real change I can see happening. Look, do we need to win this game? Yes. What does Lavia give us? Much better defensive structure, but we're not going to go as forward as much and not play as attacking football.
Yeah, because
So
we're sacrificing one attacking player, attack-minded player.
correct, and we're so is Maresca going to go attack, or is he going to settle to defend and basically, we don't really score when Lavia plays. We don't score much, and when we did, it's only the most I think is 1 goal. So you're not going to get that much attacking if that's the case. So it's up to Maresca, obviously. I would go with Enzo. I would go like this as well. I would not play Lavia. I would bring Lavia on definitely second half. If we're winning, well, then you bring Lavia on if we're winning.
To control the game more.
To control the game, plug up the midfield, keep possession, and he's very good against breaking the press. I don't see Nottingham Forest. They might do the first 10 minutes. They might press a bit to try to get it to start hot. But after that, they're going to settle into a low block arm 100%. Even if they score or if they don't, they will settle into their nasty low block. Well, then you're kind of then Lavia will not be of use on the field as much if that's the case. Then because we're not going to have an extra attacker then. So what it's a fine balance, but I would go more attacking than actually more defensive to start off with.
Right. Okay. Markham Newman is saying Lavia isn't that defensive though. He passes alone, line breaking. I think line breaking passes. I think that's what you have. He's actually pretty defensive. He reads the game very well, and there's something he does that a lot of our defenders don't do. He knows how to commit effective professional fouls.
That as well, yeah. But
Have you
he
sensed
doesn't
that?
pass
Yeah.
the halfway line.
Yeah. So he knows how to commit professional fouls. Effective, actually, that word effective is important there. He watches where he commits it. That you'd know if you understand football, you'd know that he knew exactly what he was doing. So he's still very young, but wow, he can read the game very well.
Yeah, I know what he's saying there, that he'll break the press and then pass the ball out, but that pass 90% of the time is out wide. So yeah, and it's not really, he's not offensive because he won't cross halfway line. He won't go past the halfway line. He doesn't get involved in that attacking phase at all. So
but down to how the manager wants him to apply himself on the pitch.
Yeah, so we don't we're definitely nowhere near as offensive when Lavia's playing. Yeah, nowhere near as offensive. We probably the chances cut in by half, actually more than half. I think it was like 60 something percent we go forward when Lavia's playing. So it makes us much more defensive solidly, but we don't create or go forward much at all, hardly.
Yeah, and you could argue we have enough sample size to prove that. But that's, by the way, right inside. So him here, I think Nkunku will start this game, but let's go Neto here. I think Madueke starts on the left, Neto here, and then I think we're going to see Nkunku here. I think Mark Gui most likely the cup final.
That's a big call to make, but yeah, maybe. I think Nkunku is more likely to play the cup final, coach, to be honest.
Because of experience?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And he's played.
And the fact that Gui, because he's returned.
Yeah, so no, I don't see Nkunku starting this game, and I see him maybe starting the Conference League final because of experience and basically probably his final game. And he started every time he's been fit for the Conference League when he was fit, and he always started there. So I don't see that. I think he's not starting this game. That's why I put Pedro up front, and I would put Sancho definitely to come in. I would actually put Sancho left and Madueke back to his right position to start off.
So you think it's going to be who here?
Neto.
Neto.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Sancho on the left.
Sancho on the left and Noni on the right, but that they can interchange. They can
But
interchange
Sancho
that.
is isn't he more effective on the right or on the
I
left?
like him on the right a lot more, but for some reason Maresca prefers him on the left more. But
is
he
that what
played
has
twice
happened
on
of
the
late?
right hand side, and I think he had his best games in my opinion. But he doesn't like him on that right hand side for some reason. Only 2 games he's played there.
Yeah, I think Sancho may well start this game.
I think he should, especially against low block. He's dribbling and close feet control, and yeah, I think he needs to start this game. And he's been in really good form, in my opinion, when he started. So even when he's come off the bench, so yeah, I would definitely. This is what I would go for to start off with.
Yeah, good defensive side. I mean, with Casado on the pitch and Kukurea playing cautiously, I don't see that happening really. Like,
Yeah,
he's basically a
maybe that
number
first
nine
10,
in
15
disguise.
minutes. Yeah, that first 10, 15 minutes might be a bit cautionly, but after that, I don't see that happening. I think after that, Forest will go into a low block and they will see out the half. The last 30 minutes of the half, they'll see it out. If they don't score in that first 10, 15 minutes, it doesn't matter actually. If they do score or they don't, they'll still do the same thing because that's how they play.
Mhm. All right. I say we play 4-3-3. I thought Maresca was going with the
What?
long, whatever strategy for tomorrow. I don't know whether we're going to do that, but I know exactly what you're doing, Dan. I'm not doing that, which. So I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about? I don't know if anything new has emerged since the show started. In terms of news, it's going to be interesting. The striker Chelsea ends up signing. Uh, I don't think I don't. I'm going to say this, and I'm still saying it. I'm not saying the Lap is a bad player, but he's not there yet. That would say, yeah, we sign him. He'd be the reason why we'll be title contenders next season. I don't think he's that guy yet.
No.
Next season, he may well emerge as the best striker in the Premier League or in the world, but right now he isn't that guy. He had enough time to show, yeah, he can do it in the Premier League. Has it? Did he do it really at not at what's his club again? He didn't do it.
No.
You know,
No.
yeah,
Look, would I sign him over João Pedro? I actually would sign him over João Pedro. I would.
because he's more of a traditional number 9 than João Pedro.
Yeah, and he's 30 million, code. Big difference as well. So 30 million versus 60 million is a big difference. For that alone, I would sign him, and I think he's done better than João Pedro in the league as well. Obviously, he's done a lot better this season than João Pedro. So, yeah, for me, that one, I would definitely go the Lap over João Pedro, 100%. But yeah, like we don't know, like we said, it's still rumors at the moment. You can't believe anything you see at the moment. There's a lot of negotiations, a lot of inquiries. The thing is, when a club inquires about a player, well, people think they're going to sign their player, but they're probably inquiring about 20 players, So
Yeah, and you can say you only hear about those you hear about.
exactly, and really, to be honest, it's only only on the 1st of June we'll be able to do anything because that we got the early window that opens up for us from the 1st of June to the 10th of June, because of the Club World Cup. So we've got
Mhm.
that early window to work with. But clubs really can't sign other players, to be honest. So until then, and they can't really do anything. So yeah, we still got to wait till after the 1st of June.
Yeah, big up to you too. I'm not going to read the rest of what you're saying there because, but I'm quite sure Dante has seen it. But Babas, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well.
Yeah, my bad.
Casado and Lavia have a Jorginho counter dynamic. Why interrupt that? I don't know how many games have Lavia really played this season. Both are good, but you have to pay attention to what you lose when you start them both.
And the opposition.
And the opposition too. It matters. So we cannot be starting them in every game. Nkunku is like starting with a man less, not against a physical team coach. Yeah. Let's see. João Pedro is a no in your books, and so is Sesko. And for me, I would say I start with the cancellation list. I'll start with Liam Delap. He's not that guy yet. I'm not saying he's a bad footballer, but he's not that guy yet. If we're looking for someone that we can sign that will make an impact immediately, for me, João Pedro isn't that guy. But that is what's his name? Delap isn't that guy. Did you watch the Europa League final? Of course I did. Why wouldn't I? So this, let's say, news hunting this year says that Chelsea have not held any talks and are not exploring a deal to sign João Pedro from Brighton. So a lot of what you see out there, all
So mixed.
rumors.
Yeah.
Yeah, in most cases. It looks like Vic is branching out. He's covering all clubs these days.
Yeah, Vic, he's been going. He's
Reece,
been getting
yeah.
quite personal as well. I've noticed recently in his opinions, which is a bit. Is it was always nice and nice and mixed and neutral. Sorry, a bit more neutral, a bit more positive, which is good. But recently, he's really been getting into a lot of fights and arguments with people, and that's not good. He needs to be careful of that one because he's treading the line a bit. He's going to lose a lot of people
His
by doing that.
reputation.
Yeah, he's getting a bit too. His opinions are getting very strong, and he's trying to. He's saying a bit too much. But that's my personal opinion. I still love him. I think he's one of our best ones out there. But he's got to be careful because he's getting very opinionated and very personal recently. So that's not good.
All right, here we have another conflicting report there, which reads Chelsea are interested in João Pedro, and the Brazilian is keen to talk to Chelsea. No bids so far, but the feel is likely to be 50 million. So we don't know what to believe. That's why it's important when you see such news, you just categorize them as rumors or speculations. Paul Merson predicts Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. I don't see Chelsea winning this game. They have lost all their away games against the top 8 teams this season so far. Chelsea to go to Nottingham Forest and get a win on the last day of the same. Let's see what he has to say there. So what's the prediction? Last day of the season is a big challenge in my opinion. Away from home, they haven't been good enough. So is he saying Chelsea will lose?
Yeah,
What
coach.
did
He's
he
always
say?
said that. He's never said one positive thing about Chelsea ever.
So he says a lot here and didn't quite say anything. So probably plausible deniability.
He doesn't like Chelsea. He's made that known. He doesn't like Chelsea. He's made it known publicly. He doesn't like Chelsea. So his opinions are always negative.
If you have any questions, I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, but I get it. But the issue I have with that particular thing there is that he said a lot, but practically didn't say anything. So if you have any questions, drop it. Otherwise, in a minute, we'll be rounding up. I'm guessing no question. Okay, bye. All right. I want to say thank you to Dante for finding the time to be with me on the panel. Sincerely do appreciate that. And I'm quite sure if you're paying attention, you see why we stream in vertical formats, but we had to stream in landscape format today because we have the illustration of the lineup building exercise. And that. Thank you to Mabas for joining us, Mike and Neum. I appreciate you, Mike and Neum. If you're on Twitter, I know you do get on panels and you want to join. We will welcome you. Ty just joined. Where's his comment that I saw? Big up Ty. Thank you for joining. I do hope you're doing well. More likes. Big up Ty. Slap up the like button, man. Yep, nothing much to talk about. We're about rounding off. Ty, you know what to do. But nice to see you. Lateness is greatness, they say. AB, nice to see you. IB, nice to see you, all of you. And if I missed your name, apologies, I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
Wake up, it's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, sleep Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that